Bro,
Hey everybody.
Recording in progress.
letting go. So, as usual, let's start with any questions you may have. It's always good to come with your questions because then it's very precise to you. You know, the topic is letting go, which is essentially removing the blockages energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally. So, what questions do you have, folks?
I'll go first. This is actually pretty new to me. I don't think I've gone to one of these. Like usually it's the states, then like what we're gonna learn, and then maybe like Q&A. So is this like the Q&A just like for a certain topic?
That's right. Yeah. So usually we kick it off with like questions on that topic, on letting go itself, and then based off your questions, I give. Or if there are no questions, I just give a lesson and some ideas on it, and then depending on how much time we have, we may or may not do like a meditation with it as well.
Right. I guess like no questions, just like observations of like what I've gotten so far from it. I liked how, like what you just said earlier, the more pressure put on me, the more I let go. We were going over that in like the breakout room about like the punch, and so like you punching out, but your body brings it back in, or like you bring the energy back in and you sink it. So I was just thinking of that, I guess, in like a letting go perspective of like not. I think that there's like the concept of like thinking that fighting is, or sparring, like these things are supposed to be like an angry thing, like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was either in one of these or watching a video of you saying that like you want to be peaceful as it's like you're sparring, you know? It's like, and then like either way you're gonna get it done, but it's better to have like a smile on your face, I guess. I think what it was.
Yeah, a few interesting points you bring up there. Yeah, look, you know, the calmer you are, the better choices you can make, simply put. You know, like imagine you're trying to solve a complex math equation, right? But, you know, you have to do it whilst, you know, arguing or fighting with someone, like in an angry state. You're not going to be as effective, right? You literally have less brain function because more blood and energy is being pumped into your body to fight. You know, you see what I'm getting at? So yeah, being able to stay in a calmer, more present condition allows you to be more fluid and kind of go with the frequency of the situation. Now, to your initial point, yes, the parallel of physical and energetic release to emotional release is quite interesting because it's literally the same. When I had that realization, it sped up the release and the relaxation in my physical body, because I'd learned that, okay, in order to let go of an emotional tension, right, an anger, a fear, a doubt, a worry, a complaint, whatever it might be, whatever the emotional tension might be, when you approach it from a state of gratitude and awareness, then the mindset or the frequency you're looking at it from allows you to release it quicker because it's a higher vibration. So if I try to let go of anger with anger, it's just going to compound. But if I can have a sense of anger come up, right, and then instantly, or at least along that experiential timeline, I can say to myself, I'm grateful, and I can experience a sense of gratitude for the opportunity to release it, then I'm using a higher frequency to release the lower frequency, right? So that same emotional engagement, or that emotional relationship, works on the physical level as well. So I had a realization. I was doing chi sao with some luk sao actually, and I noticed a tension in my shoulder, my right shoulder, and I got frustrated. I was like, fuck, you know, like, and it was like the actual sound I made was like that. And then I realized, oh, I'm getting frustrated with tension. So I'm trying to use tension to release my tension. And in that moment, I brought a sense of gratitude for the opportunity to release the tension, and that frequency of gratitude allowed the tension to just drop out. And I was like, fuck, like this whole last decade I've been trying to relax using frustration and like, you know, wishing it to be another way. So I had a desire. One second, grab me the map of consciousness now, up on the wall. So when I was meeting physical tensions in my system, you know, I would come from like a desire, so which is a weak, forceful energy at 125, a desire for it to not be, to be there, right? And then I'd have like a level of anger, you know, like a frustration, once again, forceful and weak. So the frustration, the anger, and the desire for it to be different, we're just holding it in space because they're a downward forceful frequency. But when I started to bring it to a sense of gratitude, which is more around joy and a lovingness, which is like power, right? Instantly it started to release, and I was like, fucking hell, I wish they didn't take me 10 years to figure out. Oh man. So anyway, at least you guys don't have to wait 10 years. But the trick is to actually train that pathway, meaning whenever a physical tension or an emotional tension arises, to truly start to use that self-canceling process, meaning if we can bring a sense of gratitude and appreciation for our mental and emotional and physical tensions and do that consistently over time, then it becomes your natural pathway in your brain, right? So it took time for me to wire it in. So even though I'd realized that, I still had to train it, right? So now, you know, and a good way to practice that is of course just in daily life when you meet emotional tensions, but in even, you know, just in your form. So as you practice your form, you notice a level of extra activity in your system. You go, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to release this. Now, a little story that you can use to remember this point is, let's just say we're all going for a walk, a nice long walk along the Great Wall of China, for example. And we're enjoying our walk. We all have our backpacks, our rucksacks, we're walking along. We see a nice tea shop and we decide, oh, let's all go sit down at this tea shop and have some tea. We sit down, we all have a nice cup of tea, take off our backpacks, we open our backpacks, and then we find we all have like 20 kilos of rocks in our bags. And then we all look around at each other and say, what the fuck are these? Did you put them here, Namata? Fuck you, did you put them here, Red? What the fuck? We can all start arguing, we can get upset, we can, that it's there. Or we could say, oh, I'm grateful I realized that these rocks are here, I can now take them out of my backpack and continue on my walk. So really, you know, if you can start to train this habit of seeing tension on a physical and emotional level as an opportunity to let it go, which is really what it is. Whenever you have any type of negative emotion come up, right, that is the opportunity to release it. That's the opportunity, right? So if you approach it from gratitude, you can then apply the remainder of the equation, which is to actually allow its frequency to rest on your energy body, meaning you sense it. So let's say an anger comes up, right? You sense it as it is, right? So you're grateful now that you can sense it. And as you sense it, you can then sink it. You can let it go, because the sinking and the letting go are coupled, they work together. So you can sense it to sink it, right? So you can start to let it go. And then the final part of the equation is letting it go to a higher quality. So the gratitude already starts that direction, but devotion is the higher level of that, meaning like it's kind of like, I surrender this to you, God, this kind of thing, you know, to the universe, to the Tao, whatever, right? So that initial appreciation and gratitude for the tension on a physical or emotional level, like coming back to what you said, you know, as you punch and you notice some form of activity or tension in your system, to bring it back and to sink it. If you can meet that with gratitude initially, you're going to speed up the process tremendously. So yeah, that's in short summary, meet tension in any shape or form with a sense of gratitude so that you can release it. Simple as that. You know, so even when, you know, someone's being a fuck and they're, you know, you're getting pissed off at them, right? You can be like, oh, I'm grateful for this opportunity to let go of this emotion, because it's not them who's making you angry. They are revealing the anger within you. Because if it wasn't in you, you wouldn't get angry. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cool. I hope that kind of highlights the points you brought up.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. T, do you have something, sir?
Yeah, just to expound on what you were saying, yeah, like gratitude. You know, like I was telling you about how my dad, every time something would happen, he would always use that "thanks for that." You know, something like dropping and breaking, he'd always be like, "Thanks for that," and he'd create laughing. He was also like in a full body cast as a kid for scoliosis and stuff, and was beaten up, and so he taught me, you know, early on, especially early in my martial arts career and whatnot, to kind of start laughing. And I wanted to just like highlight the idea of the calmness and the gratitude and that fluctuation of a middle ground between anger and joy. Because what happened with me and in my past history is I actually took, you know, through competition fighting and everything like that, it became fun. It became fun to demolish. It became fun to smash. And so I used it as exactly, and yeah, well, it's always fun to smash, but I started using it as something to bring me joy. And I think that I kept that going longer because I released a lot of anger, you know, from things that had happened into my life, and I let go of that. But I couldn't let go of the joy of just, you know, punching a fuckwit in his face because he's being a bully, you know. I didn't have any anger behind it. It was literally like, oh, this is going to be fun, you know. And eventually what, you know, happened is I took it too far at one point in time and really hurt someone really bad. And that kind of changed my entire life. And immediately I started getting into internal martial arts, kung fu, tai chi, yoga. It's just kind of funny how those little things happen. But even how far the dynamic duality of anger comparative to joy and fun and things like that can, you know, even fun can bring like almost an addiction to it. You know what I mean? There's several movies and several people that say there's nothing in life you can't turn into a drug. You know, so to understand that habitual basis, to understand where that's coming from, and that manic energy, whether it's anger, sadness, happiness, whatever, and reduce it down to what you were saying: calm, gratitude, you know, peace, like balance. You know, I think be able to recognize that is taking the stones out of your bag, like you were saying. So that was pretty much it.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and to that point, if you can start to train it to be a self-canceling trigger. So when you do have those frustrations, angers, fears, or whatever come up, they bring you into that sense of, you know, thanks for that, you know, into that sense of gratitude. Because then they'll start to cancel themselves via you using them as a trigger to gratitude. Make sense? Cool. What other questions or observations or discussion points do we have?
Would you also use that for tiredness to refocus?
I'll let Noah answer that. Noah, do you want to come and share your experience with that? Noah's like the king of letting go of tiredness. Like he's do you want to explain your because yeah, Namata asked about like would you use that for tiredness? So
yeah, like if you're feeling tired, you know, just take the rocks out of your backpack or your rucksack or whatever, you know. It's.
Do you want to tell them your experience when you actually did it?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think it was about half a year ago, around then, and I was just feeling really tired, and I thought of like that feeling of not thinking of it as a linear scale, like this is my energy, I'm getting tired and I'm getting closer to zero, thought of it as like you start at just a point or 0 or 100 or whatever, right? And then like you get the rocks get put in your sack naturally, and then you can just kind of take them out. Like,
do you want to just say the exact experience you had? That because there was a specific day that it happened where you were like really tired, and then you shared it with everyone. Do you remember?
Do I? I think I might.
What did you do exactly to kind of let go of the tiredness? What was your internal process?
Spiritual intention, and then let go. Not only of like negativities or tensions, but just of tiredness as well. It just came kind of naturally, I guess. Not very good at explaining it yet.
Yeah.
It
That's
sounds
it.
like you became aware of it, and then it was like you didn't fight it, but you just, okay, I'm just going to take the rocks out and chill.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, 100%. So think of it in the exact same process. So tiredness comes with sensations, right? So you allow the sensations to just be there. Often, so if we go deeper into that particular point, right? You have a certain emotion or a certain experience, whether it's tiredness, anger, frustration, fear, whatever it might be. You focus on the actual sensing of the sensation of it and allow the sensation to dissipate, as opposed to having conversations around the sensation. Because maybe you have a sensation of tiredness, and then the mind says, oh, I'm so tired because I did this and I've got to do this, and then you compound the tiredness. Or maybe you've got a sensation of anger and yeah, that motherfucker said this, and I'm gonna fuck it, I'll get that. And the conversation in the head reinforces the sensation in a loop, as opposed to just experiencing and sensing what is. So it's like you kind of ignore the conversation. You don't attach to the internal dialogue. You focus on sensing. So you don't think. There's a fun thing we say in Kung Fu. Don't think, sync. Don't tense, sense. So you put your focus on the energetic qualities, the sensing and syncing, as opposed to thinking and tensing, which is the qualities of force of the mind and the body. Yeah.
I like them.
So yeah, you can apply the same quality to it, So now Noah's not allowed to be tired, since he knows how to let go of tiredness. Whenever he says, he rarely does, but when he says I'm tired, I'm like, and he's like, damn it, I wish I never learned to let go of it.
Nah, I do let go of it.
Yeah, then he lets go. He's
No,
like,
you just say, I'm really just hungry.
yeah, feed me, Dad, feed me.
Okay, that's good, thank you.
My pleasure. Any other questions or discussion points on the letting go, the surrender? It's it's such a wonderful tool, which really, the more you practice your letting go, your sinking, your surrender, the more you integrate it as a way of your being in the world. It seems as though it's actually like the flow of life. Like if you think about it, like if you throw something off a building, it wants to drop down. If as music arises, it's straight away disappearing, like it's letting go as it arises. If you look at time just continues on. It doesn't hold on to its last moment. Like you don't see a kind of a black hole appearing because this moment's trying to hold on to the last, right? It's just flowing. It seems as though letting go is the flow of time itself. So letting go and flow are like a natural yin and yang, so to speak. It's like it's a way of being in the world. Like it's a surrendering to life, and in doing so, you just feel good. There's just a good feelingness that comes with it. So yeah. All right, my dear friends, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you in the community in our next session. Peace. See.